Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Hamrick. I am a math teacher at Holmes High School in San Antonio, Texas. And I thought I'd make a video today just talking about some resources that you can use to be an informed voter when you go to the polls here in November or in October in the case of early voting. And kind of where to get that information, what the information, the different types of information that's available out there, and even how to create your own printed out ballot that you can take with you to your polling location. Because some places could have 20, 30, 40, or even more individual races or ballot initiatives and stuff like that, and it's hard to remember all those things when you're in the voting booth. And to be clear, this is completely nonpartisan. I'm just trying to give you some information that you can use again to be an informed voter, because as we're in 2024, you know as well as I do that there's a lot of different information out there, and a lot of people that are trying to sway you one way or the other. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to give you the information to have that power. So let's get started. So the first website I want to show you is it's called the Misinformation Dashboard. And if you click on that, and by the way, all the links for these are going to be down in the description. So feel free to click on these links and explore these sites on your own. So what the Misinformation Dashboard does is it talks about kind of what it says, right? So the misinformation and the misleading things that are out there. You can see the different headings here. You can talk about the candidate image. You can talk about conspiracy theories, policy, election integrity, and if you scroll down through each of these tabs, you'll see some different stories from different places. And as you click on any one of these things, and I'm just going to pick one. If you click on any one of these, it's going to go through the findings and the truth behind it, and what you can get from those different stories. So that's one site I think is really good, and it talks about, again, just if you go to all themes at a glance, it talks about how different things have been shaping literally day by day, so you can see the truth and where the different biases are coming in. The second website I want to show you is called allsides.com. And it's kind of similar to that first one, but this one specifically gathers news articles in one place on different topics, and then tells you where those different stories are coming from. If there's one story that's historically left leaning or right leaning or right down the center, and again, I'm just going to click on one. Just kind of at random. It's going to give you a summary of everything from all the different news sources and the facts of the matter, and then it'll list 3 different stories. Again, one from the left, one from the right, one from the center, and you can see usually pretty clearly how different news organizations approach just about anything. Whether it's something from current events and specific policy to even science news and stuff like that, and just seeing how the different news outlets can frame the same set of basic information. So I think that was pretty interesting also. The third site, and really the last one, the fourth site I'm going to show you is just some information on Bexar County. This one I think is arguably my favorite one ever when it comes to elections and information and stuff like that. It's vote411.org, and again, the links for these are down in the description. This can give you your individual ballot races specific to your address. So if you scroll down pretty close to the top right here, if you type in the address, I'm gonna use my school's address, just because this is the internet. So I'm gonna type in my school's address in San Antonio, and the school's zip code. And when you hit submit, it's going to come up here. I don't need to say the address. It's going to load up, of course, the big election on November 5th. But if you scroll down, it's going to ask you to make a couple settings. I'm going to go with English, but you can change language to something that might be more preferable to you or to who's using the site. You hit save and view races, and it's going to list every single race that is going to be on your ballot, including city propositions, all the different races, and those kind of things. Again, I'm going to click on this race for the Texas Railroad Commissioner. I'm going to say view race, and it's going to bring up all of the current candidates that are in that race. And if you click here under view answers and then click the other compare answers, when you scroll down, it's going to show you, first of all, if that campaign has supplied information, and sometimes they don't, as you can see by Ms. Craddock right here. But the other campaigns have supplied their own campaign websites. And if you keep on going, Vote 411 sent each candidate a questionnaire, the same questionnaire, and asked relatively standard questions. And then below each candidate, you can see how they answered all of those different questions. And again, if the candidate didn't respond or hasn't yet responded, then you'll be able to see that also. Once you go through all of those questions and you kind of make a choice, you can choose one of these. I'm not going to do that just because I haven't read through them myself and I don't want to bias anything or anything like that. But once you read through all the choices, you can choose one of these things. And what that's going to do, and I'm going to go back to just go back to all the races. By the way, once you finish one race, you can go right here and just cycle through each individual race and see who's running and see if they have already submitted a questionnaire and see their answers and make those choices. Once you make all those choices in all the races, if you go back to all the races, at the very top right here, it's going to have an option to print your ballot summary. So you go right here and you hit print. And of course, mine isn't going to show a whole lot because I didn't make any choices. But once you have chosen all of the different candidates for all of these different races and propositions and initiatives and whatever you have, you can print that out. Or if you don't have a printer right there, you can save it to a PDF, email it to yourself, and then when you get to a place where you have a printer, you can print it out then. And you have a handy way of going out to the ballot box and remembering all those choices, because again, especially for, I mean, no offense to these folks, but all the different justices of the peace, I think that's a better way to say that. Bexar County District Judge, there's a bunch of those, and criminal district judges, and again, as you can see, there's a lot of them. So it's a great way to summarize that. That way you're not at the polling location and at the voting booth trying to figure out who you decided on for which race. You got it all right in front of you, and you can kind of be in and out as you cast your ballot. The last one I want to show you, and again, that's Vote 411, awesome website, and it's the candidate's own words as far as their answers to those questions. The last website, this is going to be specific to Bexar County, where I am here in San Antonio. This is early voting is going to start on October 21st, and you can see from on that first week, from Monday through Friday, the hours are going to be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. On that first weekend, and really the only weekend that early voting is a thing, the 26th, the polling locations, the early voting locations are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then on Sunday, the 27th, all the polling locations are open from 12 noon to 6 p.m. And then that second week of voting goes from Monday to Friday. The last day of early voting is Friday, November 1st. And I'm sorry, my picture's in the way there. That's better. That last week of early voting from the 20th to the 1st is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you can still be able to go after work. If you don't vote early by that November 1st, then the only time you'd be able to vote would be on election day itself, which is on November 5th. As far as the early voting days and times, let me click that link for you. And you can see here, there's quite a few locations all over San Antonio. A lot of libraries. The closest one to where I teach at Holmes High School is at the Northside Activity Center, which is right there on the corner of 410 and Calabria. But again, you can click that link, which will be down in the description, to see which early voting location will be closest to you here in Bexar County. If you're somewhere else, you can go to your county's election website and just Google whatever county, like Tarrant County or whatever election website, and it'll take you there, and it'll have that same kind of information. So I hope this helped you out. Please share this with other folks, friends, family in different states. Again, a lot of this information is not state specific. That's really the only thing that is specific to where I live. But please and encourage, make a plan to vote. Make a plan not only for yourself, but encourage your friends and family to make a plan when they're going to go vote, whether it's during early voting or on election day itself. Have a voice. I know it can feel like your voice doesn't matter, but I promise you it does. And if as a math teacher and kind of a data guy, the more people that are participating in the process, the better that's going to be for everybody. So have a voice, make a plan, go vote. If you're in Texas, vote between October 21st and November 1st. If you're outside of Texas, find out when your early voting hours are and your options for voting, and get it done. If you have any questions, also leave them down in the comments, and I'll respond to as many as I can. And until then, happy voting.